a crucial bone structure that supports your body and helps you walk, twist, and move. And that's why it's so important to take care of it with routine checks. Joining me now to talk more about this, we have Dr. David Alvarado from Centennial Spine and Pain. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Happy to have you. So first things first, what are the segments of the spine?
Segments on the spine. So it's easier to look at this model. We've got the cervical segment, thoracic segment, lumbar segment, and sacral segment. And at each of these segments, you have a paired spinal nerve. So on either side, you have a nerve that goes out and innervates parts of the body. Lumbar and cervical, so you think of the cervical spine as controlling the upper extremity, your hands, and the lumbar spine controlling the lower extremity, legs, and thoracic spine, think things in the abdomen, heart, things like that.
All right, so talk about a central command center there. What are some of the conditions that actually affect the spine?
Sure. So as you can probably imagine, anything that happens to nerves along the way can cause problems. You've got the spinal cord in the middle. So any curvature of the spine, you've heard of scoliosis, that can affect the nerves. You can get degeneration of the joints posteriorly, which can cause stenosis of the area of the nerves and pain down your arms or pain down your legs. You could have lesions within the spine that can cause different symptoms depending on where they're at. The spine controls, the spinal cord controls everything, right? So anything that is along those pathways can cause problems, can cause pathology.
All right, and that sounds like it's very problematic. So what should we be looking out for? How do we know we're in trouble?
Sure. So things to look out for is when you've got pain. I want to break down in two different components. You've got axial pain and radicular pain. Axial pain being central spine located. It's going to be in your neck, your back, all along that axial spine, and it doesn't radiate. Then you've got radicular pain, and that pain can go from your back and down your either arms or down your legs. That might be sciatic pain, or you can get nerve pain down your arms and numbness in your hands. Any of those symptoms are very concerning. They can be progressive. They can get much worse. It can be a sign of something much more severe going on in that spine.
Sounds awful. So how do you actually figure out that someone is having an issue like that?
Absolutely. Imaging is the first modality, usually an MRI if it's not a trauma. A CT would be more indicated if there's a bone injury at the hospital. We get a CT and make sure that there's no fragments. But in the outpatient setting, you're usually looking at an MRI. And we want to see what's going on. After that, it could be nerve conduction tests or injections. But we've got to figure out where that lesion is and what's going on. And from that, there's a bunch of different options that we have to figure out what's going on and how to treat it.
All right, so we've learned a lot here. But if people want to know more, including how they can possibly treat a condition, where should they go, doctor?
Centennial Spine and Pain will take care of you.
All right, thanks so much for joining us.